Think about it. You spend a few years in one classroom, then suddenly you're told you're ready for the next one. New class, new teacher, new textbooks, and somehow everyone your age moves up with you. But who decided that this is how children should learn? Why do we have nursery 1, nursery 2, primary 1, primary 2, all the way through secondary school? Why not just learn whatever you're ready to learn? Because for most of human history, children didn't move through school like this. In fact, for a huge part of human history, they didn't go to school at all. If you were growing up hundreds or thousands of years ago, you were much more likely to learn by watching the people around you. A child might learn farming from their parents. A future blacksmith could spend years watching and helping a skilled blacksmith. There wasn't necessarily a bell telling everyone, class is over, see you tomorrow. Learning happened as you grew, but then societies became larger, cities expanded, governments became more organized, and eventually more people wanted something that was surprisingly difficult to provide: education for lots of children at the same time. And that created a problem. Imagine trying to teach one teacher to handle 50 children. One child can already read. Another barely knows the alphabet. One can multiply. Another is still learning how numbers work. If everyone learns at completely different levels, the teacher has a nightmare. So schools needed a system. And one of the most important ideas was simple: put children into groups based roughly on what they already know and often their age. Then teach the group together. When they master one level, move them to the next. That sounds completely normal to us, but it was a major change. In the 18th and 19th centuries, education systems in Europe and North America became increasingly organized around age-based classes, standardized curricula, and progression from one level to another. One major influence was the Prussian education system, which developed a highly organized state school structure during the 18th and 19th centuries. The model wasn't simply copied everywhere exactly as it was, but its emphasis on organized classrooms, teacher training, schedules, and age-based schooling influenced education systems in many places. And suddenly, education started looking much more like the system we recognize today. You entered at one level. You learned a set of things. You were assessed. Then you moved up. And if you didn't meet the requirements, you might repeat the level. But here's the strange part. There is nothing magical about the number primary 3. A 7-year-old isn't automatically ready for exactly the same things as every other 7-year-old on Earth. Children develop at different speeds. Some are ahead in mathematics. Others are better at language. Some learn quickly through reading. Others understand things better by doing them. Yet schools need a structure that can work for millions of students. So the grade system became a compromise. It sacrifices some individual flexibility in exchange for organization. And there's another reason it became so powerful. Schools aren't only teaching children. They're preparing them for a society that also runs on levels. You move from school to university, from university to a job, from junior positions to senior positions. You learn something, prove that you learned it, then move to the next stage. The grade system fits neatly into that structure, but it also creates something we barely question: the idea that learning should happen in a straight line. Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and so on. As if every human brain should develop according to the same calendar. That's not how learning actually works. It's simply a system humans created to make mass education manageable. And that's why your classroom probably looks the way it does. Rows of students, one teacher, one timetable, one curriculum, one level. Then, eventually, a bigger classroom, a harder textbook, a new teacher, and another number on the door. So the next time you move from one class to the next, remember, you didn't naturally level up because the universe decided you were ready. Humans created a system for organizing millions of young minds, and we've been living inside that system for generations. Which leaves us with a strange question. If we invented the grades, what would school look like if we had invented it completely differently?